Howdy. We're going to wait for a few people to jump on. This is a nighttime live. Don't think I ever did a nighttime live ever on YouTube. Always the first time for everything, right? Wait for a few people to jump on if they jump on. But I have a lot on my mind. And that's what YouTube's about, right? Sharing things on each other's minds. This is more about speculation. This segment is more about speculation, right? But I do have a lot on my mind. And I saw a video. Candace made, and I'm trying to get into Candace's mind to understand her thinking, to understand Candace's thinking. Good evening from the East Coast. Good afternoon. Could be good afternoon where you're from. Could be good morning where you're from. YouTube is a worldwide thing. I saw a lot of people from overseas that follow my channel. Very grateful for that. Thank you. And thank you for watching my channel, following the Summer Wells case. And this is another live about Candace and Don. Another live about Candace and Don. We're going to talk about. We're going to talk about a video. I'll wait for a few people to come on. Been up all day, since 4 a.m. So it's approaching 10:30. So I'm 4:30, 5:30, 6:30, 7:30, 8:30, 9:30, 10:30, 18 hours. Been up 18 hours. I got a few more hours in me. I'm going to sleep. How's everyone doing? Good evening. Good evening. Waiting for a star to fall. How are you? Good evening. Wait for a few more people to jump on. I don't know if my normal viewers are used to me coming on this time late. It was the first time I did this. A lot of my friends that I talk to offline or, in chat about this case, a lot of them are sleeping right now. So I'm still up. I'm still fighting for Summer Wells. I'm still trying to find answers. This one is like, I'll call this the behavioral analysis segment. Getting in the mind of Candace. This evening it will be about getting in the mind of Candace. And I was debating whether I should come on live to discuss this video, but I do want to get you guys your thoughts, because when this video is over, I'm gonna go read back your comments on what your thoughts are about this. Because my mind is wondering. My mind is wondering whether I'm petty by bringing this up. Am I, in slang terms, people say, are you reaching? Am I reaching when I, on this video I'm about to put up? Maybe not, but it's YouTube, it's my channel, it's my thoughts, and I think it is important also to share my thoughts when I get into these moments. And I'm going to share a video that Candace Bly posted on her own Facebook years ago. So Candace, and this is a waterfall video, and some of you might have watched this before. It is Candace at a waterfall with her boys. She's at a waterfall with Summer. She's at a waterfall. Allie's there, and Grandma's there. Now, someone comment if you've seen this video that I'm talking about. It was posted on Candace Bly's own Facebook page 10 months before Summer Wells went missing. So it was in 2020, August of 2020. She posted this video that I'm about to show you guys. Summer at the time would have been 4 years old. Summer would have been 4 at the time. And she's at a watering hole somewhere. Somebody said, can't you get a real job? Actually, I do have a real job. So we're going to play. We're going to play this video. And for the first 2 minutes, it shows the boys playing and enjoying themselves at a swimming hole with a waterfall. But the ending with Summer and what Summer does is more or less what I want to talk about this. What I want to talk about. So we're going to spin it around. It's this video here. is this video here. I am going to play and then we will discuss.
Where's Waylon? I'm fixing to go up there and get on top. Good. What? Jump! Jump!
All right. So, the end of the video, I have a lot of questions about the end of that video. And, you know, the boys playing, I can understand the boys playing and everything like that. But I have a problem that I have a lot on my mind in reference to Summer. Summer went in front of the camera. I think I heard Candace say, go play on the rocks. Summer starts going over there barefooted on a waterfall that's pretty big. And I didn't hear anything out of Candace's mouth telling Summer to be careful. And when Summer was up on those rocks and she slipped a little bit. I didn't hear any reaction out of Candace like, oh, you okay? I didn't hear any emotion out of Candace. And then I also noticed in that video that she posted, which is a beautiful waterfall, it's a big waterfall, the video stops in the middle of Summer being in that waterfall. It stops. So I'm just wondering why the video stopped there. What happened right after that Candace maybe didn't want to show? Another slip, maybe. Possibly. But that does bother me because, and in no way I'm saying that this incident here is any form of child abuse, child neglect, anything like that. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is that, and I wrote some notes down too, some notes here because I knew I was going to kind of forget the message. It makes me wonder, you know, does Candace, she didn't really like pay attention to what Summer's doing. She didn't pay attention, like she was there, but she didn't realize the danger Summer could have got into. And I say that because last month I was up there in the Smoky Mountains and I saw a bunch of waterfalls, and I was there, and I was very conscious on going near those waterfalls, fearing that I would slip and get hurt. But it doesn't seem like Candace cared or didn't pay attention for that possibility. And I do think this matters because, we're in a situation now, we don't know what happened to Summer. I honed in, I wrote some few notes here. Like, I think, was Candace overconfident in Summer's ability in situations like that? Because maybe that's what they're used to. Or, and I saw comments on Candace's video. I'm going to play this video again for new people that jumped on, but I'll play it all the way, pretty much the end where Summer is. But people were commenting on Candace's video, and they were commenting saying, well, this is what they do in the country. This is their lifestyle, right? But Summer was 4 years old. 4 years old. It's the daredevil. A daredevil without parental guidance. A daredevil without parental guidance. And then I also noticed that the situation there maybe reinforces Candace's mind that Summer is comfortable around water. But you see her slip. You see her slip, and Candace didn't have one reaction out of that. Now, if I had a child, and I saw my child just slip, when you have a waterfall that's 3 times the size of her rushing down, I'd be like, be careful, Summer. But you didn't hear that out of Candace's mouth. Is there just blinders? Was she under the influence there? So you see why I'm saying I don't know if I'm reaching here or not. I'm gonna play this video again, and then for the new people that come on, we'll analyze this. We're gonna analyze this again, right here. Here we go. See what I mean? Nothing. She didn't say a word when Summer almost slipped. Like, you would think that someone that cared would be like, even though what I'm saying is Candace was in her mind just used to Summer doing those things, so it's all no big deal. Saw Grandma there. I didn't see a cane with her. Another thing, too, I noticed was I've heard out of Allie. Allie was there. Allie was there. No fear. Allie was there, and I know Allie, remember Allie said in prior videos that when Summer was at the watering hole, she slipped and fell. I'm wondering, and people are thinking it was at Warriors Park when they went there the day, the 15th. I'm wondering if Allie was actually talking about that incident that day, 10 months prior. Now, that was in August of 2020. That's when Don was out there with Josie and Utah. So Don wasn't around at the time. And that's where Don kind of said, Allie, Candace felt sorry for Allie and then brought her up to the house, and they friended each other and everything like that. And the whole Jose stuff was around that time too, probably a little bit back, after that. That was August 2020. But it seems like Candace didn't have any care in the world, or she was used to it. Now, let's fast forward. Let's fast forward to what the situation we're at now. If Candace was so mentally used to Summer doing these daredevil things and not challenging it, or, oh yeah, Summer will be fine, that's what she does. and stuff like that. Could some sort of accident happen similar to maybe a fall somewhere or something that Summer was about to do recklessly, but in Candace's mind, she's thinking, oh, no big deal. We're not paying attention, or no emotion or no reaction, and boom, something happened. Something happened. You know? And that's why I felt like I had to go live and just talk about that, because, you know, she's up at the waterfall. And again, you would think, and another thing is, like with the waterfall video, she stops the video right when Summer's in the middle of the waterfall. Like, that is the key moment. Like, if you want to catch like a great video, you would catch a great video where someone's standing in the middle of a waterfall. Summer, she climbed up there and she filmed it, but you notice the video went off right when she was in the middle of the waterfall. I wonder why. Was there more to that video and she clipped it up to there and then posted that? But what happened? Did Summer get hurt? Then, you know, and obviously it wasn't seriously hurt because years, you know, she was still around for another year till she went missing on the 15th. But could have something happened where Candace didn't want to show it? You know, sometimes we post things online or videos we have, but we won't post everything of the whole event because we don't want people to know certain things. She's in the middle of the waterfall and then it just clips off the video. So what happened? Maybe Summer was keep walking on there and boom, slipped and got hurt that day, just minorly or whatever. But Candace didn't want to show that out there because she didn't want people to think something happened. Allie and Grandma would know the answer to that. They were there. You know, and the boys are climbing a rock. And, you know, I think, you know, you saw half the video beforehand. You saw the older children playing in that hole. But I thought that was weird, too, because if you saw on the video, you could see a lot of rocks in there and everything like that. And they're basically jumping off into the water there. You know, that looked dangerous even for kids to do. You know, those kids look like they were 10. I don't think Josie wasn't there. So these kids were, you know, 10-ish, 9, jumping around, you know, where there's rocks. And none of them saying, hey, you know, that's okay. Or maybe they were used to going there to this spot. I don't know where it was at. Does anybody know where this spot is? Does anyone know what waterfall this is? Because I'll go check it out when I'm back in the area. Let's flip it around. What waterfall is that? Would you let your 4-year-old do that if you were there? And while your 4-year-old's doing it, would you give them any advice beforehand? Like, be careful, make sure you hold on to the rocks, you know, give them any type of encouragement to be safe if you did agree for them to do it? Or would you, you know, just say, oh, go ahead and not say anything? Is this the pattern of the behavior that we're seeing in Candace? The mind of Candace. What was in her mind? Like, could she, over the years, have been home just kind of nonchalantly either, you know, viewing her Facebook or her cell phone and seeing whatever, making TikTok videos or something, and Summer's running around doing stuff that she doesn't really pay attention to? I mean, remember, you know, the parental rights were her parental rights were taken away on her 2 children in Wisconsin. And, you know, we've heard stories about abuse and neglect with the children, the boys. That to me was like, I'm not saying that was child abuse right there. And I'm not saying that was abandonment or neglect. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that I would think a responsible parent would have been more vigilant about their child going on a bunch of rocks over a rushing water, and at least even go over there and hold their hand and kind of guide them. If they want to play in the water, fine, but be there far away and don't even have any reaction when Summer slipped on those rocks. None. So that does bother me. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to look for more videos like this, where Summer's doing things that maybe like I don't know. There could be more videos out there of Summer doing things, and even whether she falls and she's being filmed. See what Candace says in that process. I saw another video that she posted on her Facebook page of Don Wells and one of the boys on a Ferris wheel. And they're on the Ferris wheel, and it's real high, and Don's cussing at first. He's saying, all this profanity with his boy there. And then when the Ferris wheel goes coming down, you can see Candace filming them from below, and you can see Summer there, and you can see another boy or two there. And during the course of them going down, Summer actually falls on the ground. And Don's like, oh, S. Summer fell and then starts laughing. It was weird. It was a bizarre, because I was wondering, like, if you see your child fall, you would at least be like, oh my God, it wouldn't be funny. So I'm asking you guys in the comments, please, I'm looking, or you can email me any videos of Summer having these like just minor falls or accidents or anything like that on video. I'm interested in to see the reaction to Candace when these things happen. Is she just that spaced out that her brain doesn't process things that are happening in front of her in that moment? Under the influence? Is it a mental illness? Does she have a mental illness? Does she have a substance abuse problem? I got pictures of her drinking alcohol. I have videos of her slouching and saying crazy stuff on YouTube that appears to be under the influence. So getting in the mind of Candace. Somebody presented me earlier today. They were like, Don and Candace are too dumb to pull this off, right? They're too dumb to pull this off. And I could agree, kind of. But I was thinking Candace, yeah, she just seems slow. But I'm not too sure on Don yet, right? And I said, Don I could maybe try to understand him if I can get access to some records. And I was like, well, Don has many, many burglaries that he committed over the years in both Arkansas, and burglaries that he committed in Utah and got prosecuted for. And I'm trying to get these court documents to read. And I'm particularly interested in the affidavit of probable causes, because I want to understand how he did these crimes and what he did. Was he just a dumb guy that just wanted to break into homes? Or was it more sophistication where Don was like making sure? Burglary is very ambiguous too. You can get charged with burglary for breaking in, or you can go technically for walking in. Different states have the statute. But just say, I was wondering if Don would, like, if I had read the affidavit of probable cause based off his statement and the officer's statement and what transpired, understanding why he got into the mindset to break into homes. What was he looking for in these homes? Did he plot out that the homeowners weren't home? For instance, if he was checking their mailbox to see if there was mail in there or lights, or knew how to rig security systems, because that will show us how intelligent Don Wells is or not. Reading some insight about his mind when he did these crimes. Do you understand what I mean? And hopefully I can get that, and I'm trying. The problem I'm facing is his arrests in Arkansas. Arkansas has the Freedom of Information Act, but they're just like Tennessee. It's like 4 states. It's very difficult to get open records. Arkansas, Tennessee, Virginia, and I think there's another state. These are the only states in this country where you actually have to be a resident in those states to obtain records. If you are not a resident, they will deny you straight on those grounds. So that's the difficulty I'm facing. Though, however, I'm working on getting residents that I know, because I have a lot of friends all over, to get these records, because I do want to read his court documents. And these things are available, but they're only available for residents. Because if you go to their websites, or the court records websites, these cases that you find on Don Wells, they're not releasing much information. They might release the outcome and the judgment, but they're not releasing the affidavit of probable cause or the arrest warrants that for the probable cause to arrest. And it would be interesting to know details. I want to get into the minds, because some are still missing people, so we have to understand their mindset. We have to understand their mindset on what they were thinking and how they think. And again, I do think Don Wells, based off a 40-year pattern and the way he flips the script, where he does all these bad acts, and there's times he's going cussing and crazy, but he can flip the script and play the victim and play the religious card and fool people, like a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde type of mentality. And it'd be interesting to see stuff on paper, what he did and why he did it. And the clues could be in these affidavit of probable cause. Utah, same thing. Utah is a problem with grandma, and I tried in Utah, but a lot of his arrests, Utah, I filed open records requests in Roy, Utah. Don't know what county that is offhand. In Ogden, Utah. That's what seems like where the majority of his arrests are. The problem with Don Wells was he was in the Utah Department of Corrections. I think he got out for good in like 2003 or something like that. I did file records requests, and the sheriff's offices responded to me with those requests, but they said that the arrests are so old, and then they transferred their files in like 2011, and a lot of that old stuff didn't get included in forward. So it's they're gone, and that sucks. It sucks. There's records are gone, because I want to read his affidavits. I want to read what he did. New people jumping on. We're gonna play this tape. We're gonna play this Waterfall video again, up to the halfway through. You can go back to the beginning of this video. You can see the full video, but we're gonna play this video. And this was the discussion. Hold on, give me a second. 1 second. Working. All right, here we go. I'm gonna play this video. Summer at the Waterfall. Here we go. No reaction. No reaction. No reaction by Candace when Summer slipped. Nothing. Like, oh, you all right? Be careful. Nothing. Just continue. Slip. Yeah, my child can just slip on some rocks and rushing water and not, give her any type of advice or guidance. Parental guidance. Nothing. She had a lot of spunk. Summer had a lot of spunk. Seems like she's, a lot of these videos too. You notice in a lot of these videos that Candace puts out on Summer, Candace is not doing the activities. She's just the filmer. And you never see like videos of Candace doing anything really, besides laying in the bed with Hunter. Besides laying in the bed of Hunter, I saw a bunch. I correspond with people that send me stuff at all angles with this case, and some of it's BS and some of it's interesting. The one thing I notice is a lot of juveniles are up on that mountain hanging out with Candace. A lot of young boys are at that house, or were at that house with Candace without their shirts on. I've seen pictures of kids that look like they had alcohol, juveniles and minors. Like, who are these people? Groomers. Was Candace like grooming these people? Straight up. Was she grooming these people, these kids? Did she have a thing for younger kids? Younger, like, I don't know. She thought she was just the dude, or she had a mindset. Does she have a mindset of a, like a tomboy herself, or like a young kid? I saw like really good videos of, Summer and the boys that she puts together. But the music choice to these videos are just like crazy. She's like putting, like, it's the wrong choice of music on these videos that she posts. Like, she'll put like dark, edgy, heavy metal or rap music in these videos that make no sense. It's like, it's weird. It's very, very, very weird. But again, like, my mind was going about that waterfall, because moving forward from this video that was taken in August of 2020, what else did Candace overlook when Summer was doing these spontaneous, daredeviling activities? Something happened that day, June 15th, at the home, or even at the waterhole. Same instance where Summer was doing something, and just like you saw there, and she slipped, or she was about to do something, and Candace had no concern in the world, or just didn't know, or tunnel vision, or under the influence, and just allowed it to happen, even though it was in front of her eyes, like you saw there. That could have been bad. You got a watering. I'm telling you, it's going with your shoes and try to go by a waterfall and stuff like that. Your mind is like, I don't want to fall. I was just at a waterfall like a month ago in the same area in the Great Smoky Mountains. There's a bunch of waterfalls. I went to like 4 of them. And I was very cautious about going by those waterfalls, by the ledge, of slipping on those rocks. Look how big the waterfall is compared to her. Look. I mean, she's just going up there barefooted. Look. Well, play it again. I keep playing it again, because that's all in my mind, and it's my YouTube channel. Play it again. See what I mean? Why would you stop the video and right in the middle when you're at a beautiful waterfall like that? Something happened? Something happened? So that's what's on my mind. I'd like to get more videos like that and see Candace's reaction when bad things happen. With her, Summer, with the boys, anything. I'd like to see. She was 4 years old then. 4 years old. 4 years old. Playing on waterfalls, which is nice. You let kids be kids to an extent. We heard stories about Summer riding dirt bikes. I think the swing is okay for a child to do. When you're that age, as long as you have a parent around. As long as you have a parent around to watch the child. Going back on the swing, I thought was fine. I mean, I didn't think that was, that crazy. But what else have Candace allowed Summer to do that we don't know about? I do think it's scary, Miss Deb. To me, I do. Like, I see it. You guys might see it differently, and it might be a whole cultural different thing. I'm from Florida, and there's swamps here and beaches. So I don't know what the mountainous country life is for families. I don't know. Thank you, Tracy. I appreciate that insight. Thank you. And that's where I'm at. I don't want to, just drag this on. Review this video. I'm going to leave it at that. Still digging in on this case. I got some interesting stuff coming out about Don Wells's boss, Richard Tucker. This is a bizarre story. I'm going to look into it a little bit more. If I can't get more on it to corroborate, I'm just going to throw it out there as it is, because this person's telling me very interesting things about Don Wells's boss and Richard Tucker. Richard Tucker worked for owner of Tucker Drywall. That's where Don Wells was allegedly working the day Summer Wells went missing, on those homes. Um, very interesting stuff. And then Tim Mullen, of course, I tried to correspond with Tim Mullen, on a daily basis. And he just says weird things to me constantly. I posted a video about that today. He just made a whole joke out of the tree trimmer people that I was just inquiring about. You guys might or might not know, tree trimmers are around the home of Don and Candace Wells the day Summer was reported missing. Some speculation. Hey, did anyone from the tree people involved? Who did the tree people hire? And I asked Tim Mullen a question, and he responds with a very sarcastic, childish, immature response, and that's his MO, and that's what he does. Maybe he doesn't take me seriously. Maybe he's just mad because I'm putting stuff out about him that he doesn't like, and he thinks he can just play games, and that's his right. Oh, I sent him a message today. I said, Don Wells has a history of abusing women. Don Wells admitted out of his own mouth that he punched his first wife, Pamela, in the mouth, and he had protection of abuse orders against him from both Pamela and Candace. Why do you support that, Tim? Why do you support that? And he responded, this is the United States of America, and people have the right to support who they want. That's his response to me. And I just thought that was weird. Or he said, this is the American court system. Like he throws, like he feels like he's from overseas. And, if you look at his profile, if you look at his social media profile, he does list like his residence in Tanzania. He sent me a message and said he used to live behind the Iron Curtain. Tim Mullen said he used to live behind the Iron Curtain. If you guys don't know who the Iron Curtain is, that's like the USSR before it broke up in the early 90s. Tim's claiming he'd been there and lived there. Very strange. Bizarre. But he does have, it's interesting about Tim Mullen because he does have religious posts with preachers from around the world. So does he just think he's like a missionary? I'm wondering if he just thinks he's a missionary or a cult leader. Like, who is Tim Mullen? But I just remind him on a daily basis, like, are you sure you want to be aligned with Don and Candace Wells in this situation? Because you're not going to get the support that you think you're going to get in the mainstream. You might get the fringe people and the types like a lot of like Europeans and stuff like are the ones like, oh, innocent until proven guilty, their mindset. So they're gonna take the position that Don and Candace are innocent and they're victims and stuff like that. It's just a different mentality. No knock on them. It's just something I notice. But Tim Mullen, like, the supporters of Don Wells are just they're the type of people that would write fan mail to inmates, like killers in prison, like fangirls and stuff like that. That seems like they're the supporters. You don't see like wholesome mainstream people supporting a Don and Candace Wells. We've yet to see any celebrities or public figures support or Don and Candace Wells. We've seen none. Why? Why? Because they know you don't want to be aligned with that. It's just, it's bad. And I don't want to just sit here and ramble over and over everything they've done. And I made a video today about Don Wells's past. And one of the things I emphasized is, people's past, people change, right? People change. You shouldn't just judge somebody on their past. But if they don't change off their past behaviors, then that stuff should be irrelevant. And that was what I was saying about Don, because Don has continuously done the same patterns for the last 40 years. He's had arrests all the way back in the 1990s or 80s, from the 80s in Texas. So that's long, man. And then, every decade you get arrested for the same stuff. It's like, yo, you haven't changed, dude. You haven't made any efforts to change. It's like their boys being taken away. Their boys being taken away, and you have every opportunity to try your best to get your boys back. And you make zero effort, either or. None of them. Okay? CPS probably said your house is a pigsty. Your house is a mess. You need to fix this up and fix that up. And did they do it? No. Didn't do it. Stay away from drugs and alcohol. Stay away from bad apples. Let me tell you something. Like, we were out there looking for summer wells. We went there in December. And there were some weird people up on that hill with the wells. Weird people. People like CPS, like you're trying to get your kids back and you're having these bad apples up on your house when you're trying to get your boys back. It's just like no care in the world, or they're not processing something right. If CPS took my kids away, I don't have no kids, but if they did, I would do everything I can to try to get them back. Clean myself up. Stay off drugs and alcohol. Stay away from negativity. Stay away from bad apples, bad elements. Clean everything up. Take pride in yourself. Make your bed every day. Do your dishes. Wash your clothes. Groom yourself properly. Eat right. Try to do the best you can possibly do to get those boys back in your children in your hands. If you don't make those efforts, you don't deserve to have your children back. In my opinion. Addict mentality. The children were a means to an end, and that's all. Sad but true. Yeah. It's sad. It's sad. And following this case, it's sad. Right? Cussing. I mean, it's just and Don Wells is coming out of jail apparently soon. According to Tim Mullen, he says he's getting out in the next 30 to 90 days. According to Tim Mullen, Don Wells sees Judge Ross in the next 30 days to decide his fate, or to finally get out of the sentence that he is. But then what is Don Wells going to do? He can't drive. He can't drive for a year, Don Wells. According to his sentence that he just had, the judge suspended his license for a year, and that would be when he gets out of jail. That's not like the year, hey, while you're in jail, and then if you got a year sentence, you got out and you can drive. No, that runs after your sentence. So Don Wells will not be able to drive any vehicle from the time he gets out of his sentence for another year. So if he gets out October 30th, 2022, Don Wells cannot drive a vehicle legally all the way up to October 30th, 2023, a year. So you don't have a vehicle, or you can't drive. Who's going to drive you around? Candace? Grandma? He claims he doesn't have any friends. He claims he doesn't associate with anyone. Who's going to drive you around to work? Is Candace going to be the chauffeur? And Don would be an idiot, considering that his daughter's missing and his boys are away, to try to sneak and drive, because he's just going to catch another case. And authorities are probably watching him. I wouldn't be surprised. Seriously, I would not be surprised if Hawkins County Sheriffs and TBI put bugging devices on their vehicles. I wouldn't be surprised. I think they know their every move. I think they know their every move of where they are. Or if the Subaru has some sort of OnStar or GPS or computerized something in there and stuff like that, they're working with the Subaru manufacturer or whoever, the car to figure out the moves of what they're doing. And they can do that without telling Don and Candace Wells. If there's an investigation, they can do that. So if Candace is hiding and Don gets out of jail, wouldn't Candace have to come out of hiding and rally behind her husband? I mean, Candace is the one that's going to have to drive around doing the, thank you, Squirrel Girl. I appreciate that. Candace is going to have to go be around and do all the domestic stuff and all the grocery shopping and going out and about, because Don can't do it. How's Don going to go to work? So, for instance, Don does drywall, and you would think when he gets out of jail, he's going to go back to some sort of drywalling, because that's his craft. That's his job. And he's going to have to get there. Most of his job works places are like 30, 40 minutes away. Is Candace going to follow him and take him to work and take him back? If Candace is not working, right, or Candace has to work, I don't know, or one of them, Just think every morning, how sick will Candace be of that, where she has to get up every morning with Don Wells and take Don Wells to work, 30 or 40 minutes away. She's driving to work, drop Don off, drive back home. 8 hours later, 9 hours, 10 hours later, drive back to the job, 30 minutes away, 40 minutes away, pick them up, and bring them back home. Yeah, it might sound good for a month, for the first month, first week. But do you think Candace is up for that challenge to do that for a year? Taking him back, or do you think anyone around there? Because you think anyone that's his coworkers are going to drive all the way up into Rogersville, or where he lives in Beach Creek, and pick him up every day? Because it seems like his job's with Tucker. Now, he could get a job. I don't know what else he could do. Could he get a local job? I don't know if there's local employment around there. It seems like all his jobs where he worked was either in Kingsport or Jonesboro. He's going to have to work. Or will he not work? Would he just, find some hustle to do? When Don gets out, he's not under any probation anymore or anything like that. So no one has any control over him. He can do what he wants. He can leave. And I suspect that. I really do suspect that there's a possibility Don, when he's done his sentence, might put his house up for sale and go somewhere. I mean, the stakes are high for him because he's figuring, and I say that because Don Wells also has a history of evading arrest and absconding. He actually had when he had that domestic violence case in Tampa, Hillsborough County, he actually had a warrant out for his arrest for that. He ran off. There was no. Here's what's crazy about that case, and I just found that, and kudos to Bullhorn Betty for actually bringing that out today, because that's something I didn't know. She read the case file and she put it on her show. So Don Wells had a domestic violence case, and I'm assuming that Pamela maybe didn't want to press charges. Well, it's just they didn't appear for court. And then there was a warrant out for Don Wells' arrest all the way up to 2001, and then they just killed it because it was a misdemeanor. I guess the statute of limitations run out. And he just took off. He just took off. Don Wells has 2 cases in Dallas, Texas. Evading arrest and running on a warrant, or 2 charges, basically running on a crime. And then Don Wells, when he was in Utah, when he got out on parole, he just jumped state and left. He absconded. Charge was like escape, absconded, where it required the U.S. Marshals, FBI, to track him down where he was hiding in his mom's house in Rogersville in 2001. So he has a history when he has legal problems to take off. Will he do that again now? Because he knows he's under investigation. When he gets out of jail, he's not under any probations, no state agencies. He doesn't have to report to anyone. He's a free man. And he knows he can do something. Now, he also knows he doesn't have a license. But some states are differently when it comes to licensing, right? A lot of states don't follow each state. So if you got a suspended license in one state, I don't think it prevents you from getting a license in another state. Depends. Some states, they do that, but some don't. I don't know which one's offhand. But say he goes to a state where, even though his license is suspended in Tennessee for a year, he just applies in that new state and gets a license so he can do his livelihood. Maybe he's going to try to plot a place to go. Maybe they'll go to Wisconsin. I don't think they're going to stay around. But, excuse me. I got allergies, by the way. But then he could, because, you have a piece of property there. You have 11 acres there. You inherited that property from Karen Goad, your mom. It's a nice piece of property. Not a nice house, but it's a nice piece of property. I mean, I'm kind of impressed in the sense of it's a uniquely on a corner there on the top of a hill. You're like the king of your domain up there. I bet you if you cut those trees down, and trim them, it probably the long views would be equivalent to $1 million views. It's nice, but the house isn't. But the property is kind of nice. It's kind of nice. You got a creek going around the bottom of your property, and you're all the way up at the top of the hill. You know, pave that driveway and build a nice little castle on the top, and you got your own world up there. You're looking down. You're on top of the world. So is this enough? The stakes are high enough for him to sell his home and run? Or maybe just take off and keep the home there. Because you could take off, really, if your home is paid for, and I'm assuming his home is paid for, you just turn the utilities off and you just pay your property taxes. And his house is not being, it's weird because if you look on the property assessor tax records, his house is not getting taxed that much. I think it's under $1,000 a year. It's cheap. It's cheap. So he might just pack it up. Pack the Subaru up. If it's not even, if the Subaru is not, we don't know if there've been payments. You know, there was a YouTuber, and I'm trying to figure this out too. There was a YouTuber claiming that they got a call from a title agency about the car, and they were looking to repo it because no payments were made on the Subaru. Have anybody heard about that? Has anyone heard about the Subaru not being paid? I mean, who's paying for it? There had to be. He didn't buy it all in cash, right? Must have had a payment plan. Who's paying for the Subaru right now? If Candace isn't working, Grandma's in Wisconsin, Don's in jail, who's paying for the Subaru? Who's paying for the insurance on the Subaru? Who's paying for the payments? I certainly hope Candace is not driving around in a vehicle without insurance. I feel bad. Listen, if Candace is driving around with a vehicle, if she's driving around in her area in a Subaru without insurance, God, I hope she doesn't get in a car accident and ruin someone else's life. It sucked to be in an accident with somebody that doesn't have insurance. Though she could be sued, but it would suck. Was the Subaru taken by authorities? I do not know that answer. Apparently, there was some post. I saw another YouTuber post that she was recently in a town and posted her Subaru at an intersection, and she had that Jesus sticker on the back of the Subaru. Someone's driving it, but has there been payments? Has it been paid off that we don't know about? I mean, that Subaru looks expensive. How much are Subarus? Like 40 grand? I was so close to it. It was crazy. Like, we were at the job site, and I was like right there. You know, one interesting thing I noticed this was odd too. When I saw Candace in her Subaru, when she was at the job site, I was right there, and she got in her car. She had a picture on her glove department of the boys in summer. That, I think it was the photo that we've all seen, the Christmas photo, where Summer and the three boys are there, and Summer's on the far right of that photo. She had that taped on her glove compartment box there. Thought that was interesting. I was like, why would she put that there? Why does she have a Jesus sign on the back of the car? Is that a diversion to fool the officers? Oh, you know, an officer's driving behind you and they see a sticker in the back of your car that says Jesus. They might leave you alone. If an officer is behind you and you have a sticker in the back of your car that says "Back to Blue, we love law enforcement," they might leave you alone, not pull you over and stuff like that. Is it just a deflection? Or is she really Jesus? Why has she got that sticker there? It's the only sticker that I seen on her car. As far as I know, it's paid off. Okay, so you got a car, vehicle. Don, I believe, has a few trucks. Saw few trucks up there. What about the school bus? Does anybody know if that school bus on the top of their house is functionable? How did it even get there? How did that? You know, I was thinking there's a very giant school bus at the top of their home, right? And I was thinking, how did that school bus get on top of that mountain there? Because it's not going up that driveway. Did they crane that thing in there? They drove it up there, so it runs. Their driveway is very narrow. They can get a school bus up there. How do you even get a school bus around that corner there? You know, like right like where Jackie Dobbs' property, right around that corner there where the creek is. How do you even get a school bus up there? And why is the school bus there? Like, what was the point of having a school bus up there? Is that just kind of like your wall on your side of the house, like a wall? It's seriously, when I saw that school bus, it reminded me of Children of the Corn. Like some weird stuff going on up there. Children of the Corn or Lords of the Flies. That's exactly what that school bus reminded me, because it's just up there and it's out of place. It's out of place. So what are they going to do with all that stuff up there? Is the stuff even allowed? Like, where I live in Florida, right? I live in Pinellas County. You can't just have trailers and junk cars all around your home. Dude, code will come and fine you. Are you just allowed to do that there in Rogersville? Is Rogersville that lapse of rules and regulations? Which is a good thing, you know. You don't want people intruding on your life, but in a sense, you know, you do want to clean. You do want an area that looks nice, not like with all junk and everything like that. You can hear outside city limits. Yeah, and Rogersville is out there. You know, or Rogersville or Hawkins County. It's just like they're it's just like Hawkins County's Humane Society. They don't, or the Humane Society is the ones that do they're like the animal control, but they don't have an animal control. The county doesn't even have an animal control. Do you need a permit to get things done around there? Do they have code enforcement in that town? I looked, but I really couldn't really find much about it. Matter of fact, I did ask about the trailer. I was wondering about Grandma's trailer. I think it was like 4 or 5 months ago. I sent someone there. It could have been code, or it could have been somebody in one of these departments there. And I asked them, are you allowed to just have trailers there on your house? Like, do you need a permit, or is that, you know, once you have a structure, are you allowed to have other structures there? And they said, yeah, you can. You can. But if they were to move, where's all that stuff going to go? Or are they just going to sell the home as is? Here you go. We're not putting any improvement. They didn't put no improvements for the boys. So you sure know that they're not going to try to improve their home to sell it. You had every opportunity to try and get your boys back, and you didn't make any home improvements. Don said on the Dr. Phil show that the DCS was telling them they got to build walls. Walls, I'm assuming the walls in the basement, fix up the home, separate rooms and stuff. They didn't get that done. They didn't get it done. Candace was talking about it as a wish list on a YouTube channel with another girl named Kathy Clayton. I guess 4 months ago they were going on YouTube channel. She was coming up with a wish list with you know, things that she needs. You tear that whole house down. Oh my God, if something happened this summer at that house definitely needs to be torn down. If Donna and Candace Wells are held accountable for what they did, if they did it, I think they did, and Summer died on that property, that home, if they're held accountable, that home needs to be torn down, in my opinion. It shouldn't stay. It'd be sad. It shouldn't stay. Oh, and here's some other tidbit of information, though, but I was trying to see a connection. I put a video out about that property for sale. There's like a 106-acre property that's down the street in Ben Hill Road for sale. And I called the realtor and everything like that. That was the one that was sold like a month before Summer went missing for like $11,500. Now it's like $175,000. That home property is owned by the Lights. Light, Lights. And I saw that drew a red flag, because it was like, oh, it was like, I think it was Debbie Light. And I was like, oh my God. Is that Frank Light's family? Frank Light. We've heard Frank Light. We've heard, some of you guys heard the name Frank Light, the convicted registered sex offender that lives in the next holler. A lot of Lights. But I can't find a connection between Frank Light and this Light. Light just seems like a popular name there. But then I have my mind wondering, is that property owned by a sex offender? sex offender's family. But lights there seem like that's the equivalent to a popular name like the Smiths or like the Jones. A lot of lights there in those surrounding on the next Light Holler Road, Light Holler, light. Just like where Don and Candace live. Ben Hill Road, Fred Hill, Ben Hill, Hills, the Hills. It's like Evelyn Hill, there's the hills back there. I guess that's the name of the road, is named after some of the family members. Simpson Loop Road, Simpson Road. There's some Simpsons. That's how they name their roads around there. That's how they name their roads, like after last names of families, generational families that have been living out there for generations. You know what I mean? So there we go. There we have it. I don't even know what else to say. I mean, Don Wells. Oh, okay. So Don Wells moves. Where do you think he's going to? You think he's going to stay in Tennessee knowing that TBI is like watching him like a hawk? Where would he go? He can't go to Utah. He'd be a fool to go to Utah. Don Wells would be a fool to go to Utah. You know, even though he has his family there, would he go back to Arkansas? Well, he's going back to Arkansas where he got all those burglary and drug charges in the Fayetteville area. Benton County, Washington County, Crawford County. Those counties in Arkansas, Don Wells has court cases in and stuff like that. Do you think you'd want to go back there? Where would he go? Would Candace go with him? Would he make Candace go with him? It seems like there was a point that YouTubers were convincing Candace that Don was a bad dude and to kind of break apart. It seemed like Candace was almost on the verge of liberation. Well, I love Donnie, but I don't love him like that anymore, like that kind of love. You know, and I think people were getting in her head saying, get away from this dude and stuff. Like, are they going to split? Are they going to split? Because you don't have your children. And Candace seems like has that child, teenage mentality. She likes those younger kids to hang around with. Don is, 17 years older than her? That's weird, too. Well, it would be weird, if a 30-year-old married a 18-year-old. But I guess as you get older, the age difference is not that bad. But still, I mean, what do they have in common? What would Don and Candace have in common if you don't have those boys in summer? And remember, after the boys went away, there was starting to be problems and arguments between them. Remember the domestic violence incident that just happened earlier this year, where they called 911. I mean, you don't have your children. So what does Don and Candace have in common with one another? What would it be about? Drugs. There you go. Sex and drugs. Yeah, drugs. Which will just compile the more problems of not getting your boys back. Yeah, drugs. Keep doing drugs, Don. You'll never get your boys back. We've seen your behaviors under the influence, Don Wells. We've seen your behaviors under the influence. You may act normal when you're sober, but under the influence, man, you start going off. You got a potty mouth, dude. You say some very vulgar things in front of children. I've heard it. But Don Wells would not look me in the eye. When I was there in front of his face asking him where Summer is, he would not look me in the eye. I stared at him, trying to get eye contact with him. He'd look that way. He'd talk to me. He'd be like, "Get away from me, Jonathan. I'm telling you, man, get away from me." And he wouldn't look me in the eye. I want to see his eyes. You can read people's soul by looking at them. You really can. You really can. You really can. But where's Don going to go? Who's he going to stay with? Where's he going to get the money? He can't drive. Is Candace going to work? Or is Don, Candace, and Tim Mullen going to concoct these kidnapping plot and get these media people jumping on board and start trying to make a book deal, a movie deal, go on the media tours to get money. Is that what's going to happen? Is Don going to be at the point where he's going to be needing in cash, where he's going to start speaking to the media for money? They'll pay him. They will pay him. The bigger networks would pay him to sit down. You got to make money. You got to do something. And I don't think Richard Tucker is hiring him again. I don't think that Don will be able to ever work for him again. I think Richard Tucker just too much of a liability. You're a good worker. You work hard. You're reliable. You're good at what you do. But cost-benefit analysis. But all this drama and the unknowns of Summer Wells, unless Tucker, is kind of like Tim Mullen and just, hey, I support this person no matter what. There's people out there who do that. People out there that do that. But where's Don going to work? How's he going to get to work? Who's going to pay the bills? Is Grandma coming back? Is Grandma coming back to that house? If Don gets out, Candace comes out of hiding, both go back to the mountain, the hill, Ben Hill. Where's Grandma going to go? Is she going to come back too? Is it going to be one big three thing again with all three of them? Or is Grandma going to stay there? Grandma might be realizing, since she left that house, her life is a little bit in peace, though she should be wondering too if she's going to get a knock on the door by authorities, I think. Whether she's getting questioned again or talked to. But also she might think, hey, I'm away from Tennessee. I'm out of their jurisdiction. I'm in Wisconsin now. Haha, you can't get me. She might just think I'm staying here. I'm not going. Because there's a lot of us being relentless, and they watch what we say. They watch what we say. They watch our videos. A lot of their associates try to join. We have a big Facebook group for you guys out there. You're more than welcome to join it. Summer Wells Vanished in Tennessee. It's a Facebook group. Look it up. It's like 22,000. We got like 22,000 members. We post a lot of good stuff in there. We get a lot of screenshots and a lot of different things we get from all angles, right? And a lot of these players and participants around this case try to ask to join. We see who's joining. And, people in the alley tried to join before. People tried to join around them, our case. We've had harrors in our group from Wisconsin. So they're all watching. They're all watching us to see what we're saying and stuff like that. They know the heat is on. Why would Grandma want to go back to that mountain? She don't have to. She came there voluntarily to stay there a few years ago. Go live with your sister in Beloit, or Janesboro, or wherever, Janesburg, Beloit, and be in peace. Out on a bunch of acres of land. Be on peace. You don't need to come back to Tennessee. Or, is Candace gonna follow her? Where is Candace? Where is Candace? I know a friend of Candace. I'm not gonna say where she's at. She was there. But I don't know where she's at now. I lost contact with Candace probably about 3 weeks ago. About 3 weeks ago. Though the YouTuber guy was posting a picture of her in a town, 2 weeks ago at that intersection. So is she in Tennessee? Is she lurking around Tennessee? If she is, who's her handlers? Who's she riding around with? What's she doing? Is she just waiting for Donnie to get out? Donald Wesley Wells? Yes. Anissa. Any credible information. TBI wants credible information. Not the Jody Sue garbage. Not the Jody Sue conspiracy crap. All that garbage. Every time she puts out a video and just says these wild claims. And then somebody else spins off of it. I don't know if I believe the giving drugs to who's that guy? That guy, Hunter's father. I don't know what that guy's name is, but he just rambles crazy stuff. I don't even take him seriously. You guys don't know what I'm talking about. I don't even like to call some of these people. I don't even like to say their names. Somebody posted his name. He says some wild, like they gave Summer drugs when Jody Sue did when Summer was 3, or something like that. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think it's just people saying that. But then, when people say these wild and crazy stuff, and then they start texting and calling the TBI and Ronnie Lawson with this nonsense, and then he just gets flooded with messages and inquiries, about this stuff because of this just like craziness. And like look at the uproar it was a couple weeks ago when Jody Sue was like claiming that Andrew, her ex, who she has a grudge against, gave drugs to the Wells to sedate Summer. I mean, that's a crazy claim. So far down the line, it just created an uproar. Like an uproar, literally. So bizarre. But Jody Sue, I mean, I already said my feelings, how I feel about her involvement with this. I just think she just used it as an opportunity. I don't think she heard the screams. I don't think she saw a car go up the driveway. I really don't. She would have came out with that from the beginning. She wouldn't wait till she was evicted off Andy Bernard's property when she was evicted by the courts in the early September. And then at the end of September, she starts with these weird stories. Weird interjecting stories. Right? So that's where we're at. Justice for Summer Wells. I'm going to play this. Hey, I'll play this video since we got more people on. We got double the amount of people on now than we had before. One more time, I'm going to play this Waterfall video before I sign off. Let's play it again. Give me 1 second. We will play the water. Summer slips, not a reaction from Candace. Her daughter slips on some rocks. Oh, nah. Keep going. And then turns the video off right when she's in the center of the waterfall. I just thought the timing was strange on that one. So, good night, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Wherever you're at. I hope I provided some insight. Just wanted to share my thoughts this evening and share the Waterfall video. If you want to review this video again, I'm going to put Waterfall, Summer Wells Waterfall discussion. And I'll have a picture of the waterfall as a thumbnail so you know it's that particular video. And then just stay tuned, subscribe to my channel. I talk about this case a lot. And I will be sharing more things coming soon as I investigate and vet. It's weird. Yeah, I get a lot of anonymous emails too, and they come up with these stories. I think it's just people trying to troll me to try to get me to say they're garbage, and I'm not falling for it. So, credible information and credible people that I've spoken to before that provide me insight, I trust. I really haven't been bamboozled, I don't think, yet on anything in reference to this case. I'm trying to think of anything that I put out that was like totally 100% wrong, that I could think of. I don't know. I always try to fact check as best as I can. I might be a little off and stuff like that. I don't know. That's my thoughts. Good night. Justice for Summer Wells. Everyone stay safe. Thank you for viewing my channel, and I will see you soon. Everybody be safe. God bless. Good night.